Today's video has been sponsored by Hiboy, specifically the Hiboy P6 electric bike. You know what, guys? Something that I always wanted to do when I was trucking is have a motorbike on the back of the truck, so when I got to where I was going and I got time to kill, I got to do a reset, I could pull the bike off out of a motorbike and then I could, you know, ride around the town and see what I saw. Well, this is an awesome alternative because back when I was doing it, we didn't have electric bikes. The Hiboy P6 has a 60-mile range. 60 miles. That's far enough to get myself 60 miles away. Top speed is 28 miles an hour. So I was thinking today, you know what? We're going over to the house. We're going to go to work on the trucks. And I think we're going to try her out. Yeah, I said it. So you know what? I know it looks like I'm in great shape. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to ride the bike. And you know what the real cool thing is? It's got a horn. I know. And a light. See if I turn this on? It's got an LED headlight. 750 watt battery, and the battery is removable too, so you know what, if your batteries get a little weak, you just order up a new one. So anyways, you should give Hiboy a check out on the old interweb, link in description, and I'm gonna go work on trucks. Oh, that seat's a little high, so we're gonna adjust the seat down a little bit because it's just a little too tall. So alrighty. And the cool thing is, when I start pedaling, the motor on the back will kick in, so it's kind of like an assist. And if you don't want to pedal and you just want to relax, it's got a, whoa, let's turn the power up. You can just crank the hand throttle. It's got 5 modes, 1 to 5, 5 being the most power, so. Oh. The other thing I just learned, when you put the brakes on, it stops the power. So that's probably a good idea. So, you know, if you put the brakes on, you're not going out of control. But I'm gonna hold it back and burn out. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I dug a hole. I dug a hole in the driveway. Pretty good. So anyways, let's go. Well, we made her. A little sketchy, a little wet, but we made her. Thanks to the 26-inch balloon tires, it actually rides really good. And yeah, I'm impressed. It gets up and goes 28 miles an hour, which is like 40 kilometers an hour and going downhill. You can get it going a little faster. 60-mile range, so how much battery have I used? It's still like showing full, which is pretty good because it lugged my, you know, petite body around at, you know, 200 plus pounds. With the 750 watt brushless motor, the sucker really gets up and goes. Now it still has gears, so when you get into a hill and it starts to, you know, bog down a little bit, you can shift down the gears and you've got all the torque you need. 48 volt removable battery, which is fantastic. And you know what? It's got a horn. So anyways, guys, big thanks to Hiboy. We're gonna do a long time test on the P6. And you know what? This is a bike I can really get behind. If you want to check out for yourself, hit the link in the description and get your own Hiboy. I'm pretty sure you won't be disappointed because you know what? A bike with a motor is a bike I can get behind. Yeah. Anyways, let's go work on some trucks. Oh, Stubby and Smokey. So we're getting back on Smokey now. I know it's been a while, but you know what? We had some stuff to do. So
you want to look at my jacks on my motorhome?
Oh, yeah. Also gonna look at Dad's jacks on his motorhome first too. See if we can save some money. And the other thing we need to do is we got a leak on the PTO cover of the transmission. So I got to drop the oil, drop the PTO cover, and silicone it up and see why it's leaking. We use the old cover, so it's probably warped. That's my guess. Or we didn't use enough silicone. Actually, I don't think we used any silicone, but we used a gasket. Yeah. Okay. Now we're just gonna drain the oil back into the bucket because it's expensive stuff. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Well, that was easy. That was easy. At least everything's clean. Like the transmission's clean, so it should be no problemo. To keep from getting dirt in my oil. Oh, there we go. That just drip drain. Okay, she's dripped. There's a little bit of fuzzy goo on this. This is probably just from assembly. So clean that off. Huh. Oops, put her back in. Being careful not to drop it into the bucket of oil. Now we'll see. That should be the lowest part. I'm gonna tighten this up before we forget. Not saying that I will, but you know how that goes. Ah. There. Good like borscht. Now, let's see. I'll leave this bucket here just for a second, because it'll probably leakage on me. Actually, no.
Need a screwdriver?
Yeah. Oh.
You get it?
Yeah, I got her. Yeah, a bit of a mess here. Ah. Okay.
No, there's no gasket on it. Is there a gasket on the transmission?
No.
What?
Negatory. Okay, let's take this oil out and clean up this mess. So, Dad thought he didn't put a gasket on it, but he did. He put a gasket on it and put some gasket dressing, but it still leaked, so I think it just wasn't enough. And you know, when you put a PTO on these things, you actually use the gaskets to shim your PTO. So I think I'll probably just get a couple more gaskets so it takes up the difference. And there is a little bit of paint on it, so you know what, maybe just a little bit of paint got on it. So, and the other thing we were talking about doing, so right now this truck draws from this side and returns on that side. Well, each one of these tanks is 130 gallons. So that's 260 gallons of fuel. I'm never gonna use that much unless I end up making this thing into an RV puller or something and we're like going to Florida and we find cheap fuel somewhere, in which case then, you know, I would fill up both tanks, but that's a lot of money in fuel. It's like a couple grand. So I want to take the return off that one, put it on this one so that I can draw and return off the one tank. That tank can stay empty. We'll leave the crossover line underneath, but we can turn the taps off, and then that way, if you do need it, you just turn the taps on and the crossover line will supply it. And in the meantime, we only have to fill one side, and that side can stay there just to look pretty. So that's what I'm gonna try and do right now, because it looks like I have lots of hose to do it, because the line goes out, under, and around, and through here, and back. So this will work. The only downside is it might be a little brittle, you know, because they get old and brittle. So, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Nope. Fuel tank gauge clearly doesn't work because the terminal is corroded off. Okay, so got that side loose. Now this side. Oh yeah, butter, like butter. It's got the sending unit wires tie strapped to it, so I'll snip those. Yeah, that works. This has the Arctic package, so it's got the insulation on the line, which is kind of cool. I got more tie straps down here. In a lot of ways, I probably should have, you know, stripped this thing right down and restarted, but, you know, there again, this is doing it on a budget. Doing it because we love the trucks, so. Okay, and there's one more in not a great spot. Take this fitting off, put it on the Hutter side. Hope that clears the level. When I say level, I mean fuel gauge. Probably shouldn't have done that. Mind you, if I just, well, it's not working anyways, so I'm just gonna pull that screw out. Famous last words. Is it gonna come out? I'm gonna say yes. Nope, it's gonna break the head off. Fricker. But I can still get the 90 out. It's one problem with working on old trucks. Stuff doesn't necessarily work like it should, but there we go. So on this other side, I'm gonna use a stack of fittings so I can get down around this sensor fuel level thingamajigger without buggering it up. Because if I have to take that off, it's not gonna come out easily. It's just, yeah, I just know. I just know. There. Okay, now I got that tightened up. I got my 90 on. And now I just have to fish out this line through here. So let's snip those tie straps that Dad so eloquently did up. Surprised that the fuel lines come behind like this a little bit. Okay, this is gonna take a little bit of elbow grease. Okay, I got the line out of there. Now, rather than pull it through up to there, it's gonna be tight to get it through there. So I got lots of lines, so I looped it through there and I was able to bring it back up and attach it to there. So yeah, I got enough line. So we're gonna use the line that we have. You know, I'm thinking in future we'll probably have to change these lines, maybe put some new ones on one day. But for now, it's working. It's a working. Okay, so I tied that up. I've got my fuel line wrapping around there and coming up there, and that's done. But now I need to push all the fuel over, because something I did this week is I went and filled up my tidy tank. I almost should have videotaped it, but I filled up my tidy tank and then I brought fuel over. And of course we hooked up the crossover line on this, and after running out of fuel the last times, and you know, it's like, put some fuel in it, Mike, so you can start it and run it, and yeah, just have more than a cup of fuel in there. So the crossover line is open. Now I got draw and return from there. So I'm gonna put some air here to pressurize it a little bit and push the fuel over. And then when it starts making bubbles, we'll know it's good. I was probably a little premature in putting this plug back in, but you know, this is how we learn. So I'll just set it right there. I'll just screw this fitting in. It doesn't have to be smoking tight. Just has to be in there, and I'll go get some air. I was just thinking, I probably should put a tap on it so that it doesn't explode. I don't know how much pressure it would take to explode, but probably not as much as a person would think. There we go, that's better. I got a tap put on there, And now the fuel's flowing into this tank. See if I can show y'all. I don't know if you can see that in there. Basically, it's, you can see it moving over, so when it starts blowing bubbles, then I know we're good. Okay, we got bubbles! We got bubbles! So let's come under here. Turn this tap. There. That means all the fuel is on this side now. Okay. If we go over here, let's take our line off. Let the pressure go out. Put those vent lines back down where they were. Might as well close this one too. There. Sounds empty. Yeah. She's empty. There's also something in the bottom of the tank. Looks like a piece of pipe or a piece of hose. Huh. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Now I'm gonna have to see if I can fish whatever that is out. So I got it out. It looks like it's a sending unit. I'm guessing for the fuel level gauge. It's got some little thingamajiggers there, so yeah, anyways, that's out of the bottom of the tank. Tank looks a little dirty too, so a guy should probably clean it somehow. Maybe steam it, or I don't know, or just leave that little bit of fuel in the bottom and it can slosh around and try and clean it up. But in the meantime, I'm gonna do up those crossover bolts in the rear crossover bolts, the rear think Mike, transmission mount bolts haven't been done up yet, and they're kind of old and rusty, so I think I'll grab the big impact and see if that'll work. Okay. Maybe not. I mean, we got them undone. Maybe they should just be torched off. Ow! Maybe less torque. I think I know why we didn't do these. Okay, put new bolts in. I actually popped this off and cut those. I also set the speed sensor down a little bit, so hopefully we'll be able to know how fast we're going, you know, so. And then I was looking at these exhaust pipes that Dad put on, and you know, we could put a clamp right there. So I just happen to have some clamps, so let's stick these on. because we had them, so I put muffler clamps there. So now the muffler clamps are done up. I also had a couple of these that I got out of surplus. So I put these on because the other brackets are actually for the K100. And over there we got one proper strap. So I think I'll see if I can find another one. Well, I know I can find another one, I just have to order it. And this airbag I was just looking at, the top broke off, so I just plugged this line. That airbag holds and that latch works. So we should tip the cab and take this latch off and
Take that airbag out and get a new one.
yeah, take the airbag out, get a new one, and then get the latch working so that
Yeah.
we can drive it and the cab won't, you know, go, because that would be,
Definitely doing good.
yeah, would not be good. So yeah, and Dad stopped at Peterbilt, picked up a couple more gaskets, so I'm going to, yeah, crawl under, throw it in, we'll pump it full of oil again and see if we can...
They were really pricey, costing a whole $5.05.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if the Mike the Truck Nut budget can handle that. But
I was thinking you need an account at Peterbilt so that I can pick up stuff and just put it on your account.
it's true. I'm sure Andrew would love that.
Yeah.
Not.
Oh well.
Ooh, well, I might as well do that and then we can take it for a drive and see if the speedo's working, because that's the other thing I did. I took 2 of the washers out, so it's a little closer. But it might need to get a little bit closer yet, so, because the jam nut's stuck. But
Those senders aren't that expensive, but it might even be the sensors haywire. It's like on my bus when they changed the transmission, they buggered up the sensor for my tack.
Oh?
Because the sensor is on, it's the same sensor for the tack or the speedo.
Oh.
And the tack is running off the ring gear on the flywheel.
Gotcha, yep. Gotcha.
So I don't know what they did, whether they hit it or what when they changed transmission, but
The end result is it doesn't
the
work?
result was it didn't work. And I had a new one, so I put it in and the tack worked after that. So anyways.
Alrighty, well, I'll put this tranny back together. Okay, I put the cover plate back on, put oil back in the transmission. So that is now done. Now the next thing that I'm tackling, this thing's got air ride cab and this latch is not latching. The other side works just fine. Well, it works anyways, so, but this side doesn't. So if we're gonna drive it any amount, kinda gotta have both latches working. So I've got the cab on the stop lock, so it should be fine to crack this line. And I already undid these bolts. Gave myself a big blood blister. Yeah, that hurt. So I'm gonna get a fitting to put in the end of this line and cap it off so that I can pull this thing right off. Because, I mean, if it's not working, I can jack it up and down, because right now, yeah, it's not working. So I can cap that line and it's not gonna, shouldn't have any effect on anything. Oh yes, fun in the sun. I got the airbag out. That's why we need a new one. So yeah, let's dissect this little baby and see what we gotta do. I mean, how hard can it be, right? I shouldn't even say that. Actually, that's what I was gonna look at, because that looks like it's full of dirt. Definitely full of dirt. Well, let's pull it apart. 2, 3, 4. Why is it? Oh, there we go. You know what the worst thing about these rusted bolts are? Look what I did. Yeah. Yep. Wrench jammed in the thing between my hand and something hard, and it hurts. Ooh. Apparently, there's pressure. Oh yeah, what's life without a little bit of oil spilt? That's interesting. Because I know this is supposed to go, it's just right full of dirt. Look at that. Okay. So, I guess we just need to clean it out. Just need to clean it out, Mr. Mike. Yeah, buddy. Where's my hammer? Got a big hammer. So, I can buy a new one of these, but it's like $1,300 Peterbilt cost. And for $1,300, I can work pretty hard to get all this mud out. So I think that's all that's, well, famous last words. I hope that's all that's wrong with this. There's a little, probably big, well, there's little forks and doodads and doo-dippies, so what I think I'll do is let's get all this, well, try to get all this mud out, and then we'll take and soak it down with like a penetrating oil. Oh man. And the good news is if it's completely pooched, we can order a new one. I think it's basically the same as what they have on the new 520 Peterbilt Cabovers that are used for like the garbage trucks and stuff. Mystery washer there. This is gonna be, oh yeah, see there's a pin through here. That's probably gonna be a challenge. Huh? What do you do? What do you do? Well, and this, that's like the hydraulic cylinder portion. Okay, let's go give it a few whacks, put some PB Blaster in. Okay, I've got it in the vise now, and I'm gonna try and pound this little pin out. It's either gonna work or it's not gonna work, basically. I know, it's kind of a, you know, it's gonna work or it's not gonna work. I think it's gonna work. I was gonna try and, like, how do you get in there? Because there's a little wire tie or... Huh. Looks like quite the challenging thing to get out. Oh, there we go. Got some of it out. Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, now I need a punch so I can go doo-goo, doo-goo, or a bolt, or an old bolt, so. Okay guys, I got it apart. Trying to figure out if the camera's, yeah, I did get oil on it, so it could be a little foggy. I can't tell. Ooh. Is it foggy? I think it's okay. So I got this out, managed to pound that pin out, which holds this all together, which goes through there, and then, of course, these were seized, and with a little bit of heat, and a little bit of WD-40, water displacement 40, it's now all turny like it should be. So with that being said, I think I can put it back together now. That one's got a little bit of a little sticky spot there. I think that's over rotating-ish. Oh, there's a little ding there, that's what I see. Right there, little ding. Okay, well, put it back together. And the best part is, as long as that seal is good, which I think it is, I just saved $1,300. I know, I'm pretty amazed with myself too. Okay, so put this back in like so. No, it goes the other way. The spring thingy goes in there like that. I'm going to put this bolt through. Oh, yes. Will an impact socket fit? No. We'll see if I have
Well, it should.
Well,
oh,
it's...
yeah, okay, yeah, never mind. You need a normal socket.
Yeah.
What size is it? 5/8?
3/4.
3/4?
Like that. And that's the hook we want, guys. Woot woot, I did it. Well, I guess it's not done yet, but I'll get the bolts for this too.
But it won't work either.
Yeah.
Nope, nope.
Happy, happy, happy. And what I can do is I'll lubricate with lubrication. There. So now, I just have to find a, I'm gonna go see if I have a skinny socket. Okay. Not fit through there. How about this one? Dang.
Might be able to drive it in.
Well, that's where I was thinking of drilling a hole in it and then just putting a cotter pin back in it. That might be the wiser thing to do. I mean, it's going to be a bugger to put a cotter pin in it, but... Well, that's what was in it before. It's true. Let's try tapping it in and see if it'll go in. Really, even if it... because this is a shallow socket, so I don't know if... No. Won't come out anyways, if I did that. Well, no, you'd end up leaving the socket in there. And I was wondering what if you had a... like just did it up by hand so that the, like put a big spacer on it and then, yeah, sleeve it and then just do it up by hand enough so the nylock hits. You might be able to do it with an open end, putting it in lengthways, putting it in like that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Or just cut it off and drill a hole in it. Because I don't need... Okay, we got it. We stuck a bolt in it, and it's now in the lock position with no pressure because it's designed that way. So there's all the guts. The gutsies. Dad just cleaned off the plate. And now we can... as soon as he's done that, I'll set it on and bolt it up. Okay. Oh, I think he's done. There. Now, the bolts I had were not stellar, so maybe I should find some different bolts. I wonder if I have any more of these or... Well, I guess I could reuse them. I should clean up the threads though. Put this on. Put this on. The big hand. Good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do an easy one first.
I wonder if a person should put the cab down because those are slotted, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, I'll just do them up a little bit then. There. We'll call that good enough for now. So now...
You short one bolt?
Yeah, well, I had to cut a bolt off, so...
Oh.
But I'm going to jack it up and see if that pushes out like it's supposed to. See, this one is...
Is it out?
Not all the way. Did it jack out at all?
Nope.
Well, I wonder if it's because there's not enough tension on.
Well, I'll let the cab down.
Okay. Stand out from under it since I
I'm out for it. Do you want this cab to go under and catch the wheel?
sure.
I think it's probably steel all over the floor.
Leaks a bit.
Yeah, this latch is going back.
Like opening? Oh, okay. Sit down in there and then this bloody thing. Don't know why it does that. Like, is the jack too small?
I do these bolts up now.
Yeah. Perfect. It's kind of hard to tell when they're like locked.
You can't really, can you?
No. I mean, aside from the push rod thingy, maybe. Well, I guess that's it. It's down. I'll go get an airbag. Of course, it's fitting in there now, so I could probably just jack it up. Well, it could stay like this for now.
We'll just do the one that's on this side up.
Yeah.
And then put another bolt in there and do it up because you can get that to them from here
Yeah.
before you jack it up.
Okay.
Is what I would do, you know. Not to tell you what to do.
Well, that's a good idea. But I would say, because this pushy thing is,
Yeah.
it's in. So, I think it's good.
Yeah.
So anyways, guys, that's it for me. We'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock, so.